Hello and welcome. I'm Marianne McGuire, creator of Let Go and Know, how to let go of struggle and know who you really are. I'm so happy that you're here with me today. This is the start of our having fun together while going into some deep and delicious energy and ways of being. My intention is to provide you with tools and tips to help you to let go of struggle and know who you really are. So before we begin this adventure, I want to give you a little introduction. I feel it'll be helpful for you to know some of my background so that you can feel secure, I suppose, about what I'll be sharing with you over time. So, when I was a small child of about 6 years of age, I had a profound spiritual experience. I remember standing on my own in the kitchen of my childhood home, and I became aware of a knowing that appeared to me. It seemed to be situated above me, but at the same time it was everywhere. It was within me, it was without, it was everywhere, and it flowed through my being. And I was being shown certain fundamental universal truths. The best way I can describe it is that I was shown part of the truth behind this reality. I mean, the truth behind this reality is so far beyond and beyond and beyond, but I was shown part of it about how life works, the nature of time, even the nature of polarity. And I was aware that there existed something so far beyond this physical reality where we live our everyday lives, so ineffably and inexplicably beautiful, and even beyond our idea of heaven. And the amazing, juicy, scintillating truth about this is that it's all around us and within us. And I knew that this physical reality where we live our everyday lives was only the tiniest part of what is true. And this, by the way, is why I know that the key to a fulfilling life of freedom is to place your attention here on this truth and no longer on the struggle that you've been experiencing. I mean, even speaking these words, it feels so expansive. So please connect with this energetic field because it's very, very real. So when the experience was over, never is over, it's always here for us, but I continued my day as if nothing happened, and I never spoke about it to anyone until several years ago. And I accepted completely that it was just a part of me. I actually thought it was the norm. It wasn't separate from me. So because of this, it just felt totally normal. And I experienced being pure awareness, and it was more real than I can describe. The experience, it was so far beyond any kind of words or labels or concepts. And obviously, I wouldn't have been able to articulate it when I was a child. It was just this knowing that remained with me until the perfect time in my life. And it presented itself to me again so that I could apply it to my life and then share it with you in order to fulfill our purpose. So right now, you're being here, listening to these words, there's a reason for that. So because of what I received, I know the importance of the benefits of choosing where to place your attention. Placing your focus on the truth of who you really are rather than upon whatever challenge that you may be experiencing. So similar experiences happened to me over the years. They actually happened before I was 6. I've memories of when I was a baby and after. So for all of my life, I remember knowing the truth about who we really are. So what is called oneness, that was never a concept for me. It's a real foundation for my life. I never really lost my memory of where I came from. And I really, really cherish this now. and the fact that I still remember, because I fully acknowledge at this point in my life that it's pure information. I wasn't taught it. I hadn't read or heard it before. And it is facilitating my mission to nudge you into remembrance of the magnificence of who you really are, of your truth, so that you can actually live from freedom and ease and peace and joy and just be yourself. Emotions flowing without judgment and acceptance of all parts of yourself. It's just such a expansive and beautiful and fulfilling way to live. So, in contrast to this expansive experience, I went through my childhood feeling contracted much of the time. So I really do know a lot about struggle. I wasn't received by my family, whom I loved dearly. And throughout my young life, I was not allowed to express myself freely at all. Very, very strict upbringing. And due to how I was conditioned, I, let's say, suspended my power just so I could play this game. So when I was actually, 18, a little bit earlier, I had this longing, I suppose, it started to feel a more immediate connection with spirit, because I was fully aware that problems did not exist there. And when I resided there, it felt so good. It felt so peaceful. And the funny thing about it was that it felt normal. So, I realize now that I was actually longing to connect with my true state of being. And obviously, I had felt it on different occasions, because something like that is never going to go away. And there was just like these tantalizing glimpses of beautiful light that existed within and without and everywhere. And I always knew with certainty, unshakable certainty, that it dwelt within me and within everyone, and that I was connected to a divine, loving intelligence. But in my everyday life, due to my conditioning, I would forget, type of slumber in between these experiences. I'd feel that very much so when I was going through challenging times. And it left me feeling very lonely. And I did not feel connected any longer. This was really, really painful, because I knew the truth. So I wanted to know how I could feel the connection with spirit in my everyday life whenever I wanted to. And because of this, I spent the following 20 years searching for the simplest and also very practical ways to reconnect with my divine source and who I truly was, my true self. And also at the same time, actually, 18, I started to paint. And so I was exploring through art, light and expression. I was always painting light. I didn't really know. It's only when I look back on it, I realized how interesting it was. I was searching for the light through my art. So after 20 years of exploration and doing courses and reading and studying, and I mean really and truly like nonstop, one day I felt as if something really important was building within me. I was doing I have a particular writing method, and I was writing and I could feel it, and I was kind of getting excited, and there was this energy building. And so I stopped and I asked my guides the following question. Out of everything I have been through, and out of everything I have studied and discovered over 2 decades of searching for the answer, what is the most important thing we can do to find what we're looking for? And immediately, and in a beautiful way, I received the answer from the sea of awareness, and all of the information pertaining to it, all around it, unfurled in my being. It was, let go of struggle and know who you really are. And the specific way that I was to help people using my childhood experience was born. And I was shown steps that took me, I had to do it first. I had to embody this information first. That took me from living in a contracted way much of the time to living in an expanded state of joy and excitement and peace, and being able to deal instantly, if I remembered, with any challenges that I was experiencing. And I reclaimed my birthright of power and expression. They were my two lessons, if you will. So I had to embody all of this first before I could share it with others. It couldn't just be an intellectual lesson that I could pass on to others. I had to embody it because then I could have full empathy with, what you're going through. So my life transformed, and I felt what it was like to be free of that cement-like struggle, which is what it felt like. And I shifted into a true reality, a beautiful, powerful allowance where I knew that, and this is huge, the struggle was an illusion and that I actually had the power of choice. And so do you. And this is what I want to bring to you when I'm with you. Comfort and fun and support and practical tools to help you to deal with everyday situations. Because it's all very well to view life with ease, from the lotus position or on the yoga mat or when you're out in nature meditating. But it's another thing to respond with ease when you're under stress or you're dealing with your children, money situation, health issues. That's why I'm here, to focus on you. I mean, the joy and the relief is exquisite when you feel who you really are and when you choose to live from this space. And do you know what's amazing? And it just tickles me pink. The struggle falls away as if it never existed in the first place, because you really, really do realize that you are bigger than any problem you are experiencing, or indeed any problem you could ever have. So I have experienced both states, and the remembrance puts me in a unique position to help you to let go and know. And that's why I'm here. That's why I'm doing this work, because I have a foundation that I didn't receive from books or from studying. I experienced it firsthand. And I have the experience of what it feels like to struggle and to push against the tide of life. And the reason I went through this, as I look back, was so that I can really empathize with you and show you the way out. So when I practiced the information that I was given, I really experienced in my body again that I am awareness. And it was like coming out of the fog of the mind and stepping into the clarity of the heart. And I really had been put in a box, and I stepped out of the box that I'd been put in and into my true power. And this is my desire for you. It's totally possible for you. So during my childhood experience of awareness, one of the truths that I was shown was that who we truly are is beyond magnificent. This is something I know in my heart. We're beyond the mind and beyond this realm. And we're more powerful and beautiful than we could ever comprehend using the mind alone. I could really go on about this because there are many different layers. It's really interesting. But so now, what do I do with this information? Well, I realized, I fully embraced that one of my gifts is that I see you for who you really are. So now I guide mainly women everybody, but mainly women seem to be attracted to me, to live from who they really are so that they can finally experience what it feels like to relax into life and enjoy its juice, and to end the seeking and the longing, because that can really get in the way. So many people continue to believe that they need to be better and seek more and get more and be more spiritual, and they forget to enjoy life. So I guide spiritually inclined women to stop seeking and start living the way they desire, which is huge because so many people know what they don't want. But it's very important to identify what your true desires are and to live from who they really are by deeply connecting with their truth and divine guidance and expressing their passions, their truth, so that they can move into the next stage of their lives from a peaceful place of knowing their purpose without feeling lost or confused any longer. And they can be the best version of themselves, so to speak. They can live from their truth and choose and make decisions from here, from this place, from who they really are. And I'm here to share my knowing of the importance of your choosing to focus on who you really are rather than from the struggle, rather than from your conditioning. To become familiar with your power and magnificence, to embrace the part of you that feels scared when things become challenging, rather than collapse into the stress. And when you start to love who you really are, when you open up to your truth, your life can change. And when you go on this adventure, you can see that your truth has always existed under the layers of stuff. And even through certain beliefs you have about yourself and the world, even though they can feel like cement, you can come to the realization that they are about as solid as a soap bubble. And you can feel this in your body and move on and actually choose ease in your life. So please remember that you are bigger than any problem you could ever have. I mean, fundamentally, you're made of light. One of the insights that I knew as a child was that love is in the space of everything. You are this love. This love, this intelligent light, this awareness is communicating with you. I call it the whisperings of awareness. So when you become aware and then connect with this awareness, so to speak, and pay attention to this light in your everyday life, then you can choose to live from here. Then you feel safe enough to relax into your body and into your life and live the life, the fulfilled life that you were born to live. This is what I guide people through in my program, the 3 Stages of Awareness. And this is how you can open up to expanded, juicy feelings in your everyday life, even if something challenges you. You're anchored. You have a foundation of living from your truth, supported by life, so that you can let go of yearning and seeking, and finally come home to yourself. This is my deep desire for you. The more people who let go and know, the sooner we will feel heaven on earth. So, if you would like some free resources or more information about how I can help you to live the fulfilling life you were born to live, then pop over to www.letgoandknow.com. LETGOANDKNOW. And you can also email me at info@letgoandknow.com if you'd like to have a complimentary clarity session or assessment to discover where you are now and what you can do to start living the fulfilled life you yearn to. My wish for you is that you let go of struggle and know who you really are, so that you can begin to feel scintillating peace in your everyday life. Much love.